What about Brian Williams? You know, we talked about this.
Very interesting.
Yes, a few days ago, where he had told a story about when he was in a Black Hawk helicopter and hit by enemy fire. It turns out, in fact, that it was the chopper ahead of him that was hit, not his. And he is misremembering events that happened 12 years ago. And when that came out, and you're seeing here the comment that he made on the news, explaining and basically apologizing. So he took himself off the air at that point, because, by the way, he is not only just the anchor, he's the managing editor of NBC News. So he took himself off the air. And now, though, now the big wigs are saying, yeah, you're actually off for 6 months, no pay.
I'm surprised he didn't get fired. And I say that only because, you know, in the position he's in, you are held to such a high standard when it comes to the truthfulness of what you're saying.
And I think he should be fired. From this point on, how do we know that anything he's saying is true? How can you report on, like, hard news? Is it like a crock? Like, are you really telling the truth?
But think about it, too. I mean, there's always that issue about, you know, as we tell stories and as we remember things over time, they always get embellished. We start adding little details.
There's a difference between, like, the bullets were flying everywhere, and I wasn't even in that plane.
But there were bullets in his helicopter. I mean, human nature is to embellish. And so as the story's just grown, I'm not saying he's right. I'm not making excuses.
I mean, I'm all about
just
embellishing.
human nature.
I say I'm 115 pounds.
On your driver's license. Yeah, what does your driver's license say?
It says 115. Lies!
It is interesting, though, because, you know, like you said, how are you ever going to trust anything else he says? And as a journalist, he is, and as the managing editor of NBC News, he is held to an extremely high standard. But then there is this human nature side of it where, yeah, you know, we embellish, we misremember things. Unfortunately, because he's held to a higher standard, that's probably not going to hold up. So they have suspended him for 6 months, no pay. That is a $5 million mistake that he made.
I hope they give that position to Lester Holt. I'm hearing he's not necessarily in the mix, but he should get that job.
I think they're going to give it to Savannah Guthrie.
I heard Willie Geist is being talked about.
I would rather see Lester. I'd rather see Lester. He's
Holt.
more credible. I think he's got more distinguished years behind him. And that's the thing about Brian Williams. He's got so many years behind him. I mean, there's no excuse for what he said.
And that was one of the things that the higher-ups at NBC were saying, is that although we don't excuse what he's done now, you know, we don't want to sweep all the good work that he's done under the rug, and they feel that this is an appropriate punishment. 6 months, no pay, $5 million. Whatever happened to Stone Phillips? Remember Stone Phillips, who did Dateline NBC for the longest time, like the really good-looking, like I'm Stone Phillips. I mean,
we need to Google him. Let's Google him and find out where he went.
There's probably some scandal we didn't know about.
Maybe he's looking for a job at the
Call
broadcast.
Olivia Pope.
Exactly. Also, Jon Stewart said that he is stepping down from The Daily Show after. Gosh, what, 17 years or so of doing the show?
Hilarious. I love him. I'm going to miss him.
Stuart, we've had quite a few people talking about this, and Brian Williams, haven't we?
Yeah, comments on both sides. So Kyle Smith wonders if Jon Stewart is leaving The Daily Show in preparation for taking over the NBC anchor chair from Brian Williams. Vicky says she thinks Brian's suspension is a bit extreme. She thinks 3 months would have sufficed. Diane Howell, though, can't get over what Brian did. She says she's very sad and disappointed, and her heart breaks that he would glorify his experiences to such lies. Kevin Fillingham says he doesn't think Jon Stewart's leaving is important. He says his show is a parody and not serious journalism. I hate to break it to you, Kevin, but more people watch shows like The Daily Show and The Colbert Report than local or national news. You can head over to facebook.com/broadcasttv to weigh in.
And it is, especially for this generation, it is how they get their news, how younger and, you know, 20s, 30s get their news. And so, and he is accurate. He just makes fun of all the
which is awesome.